So it seemed like you and Carson had a pretty good connection on Saturday, especially on third downs. Just can you kind of walk through what your mindset is on, those key plays like that?
I just try to be ready every time, so every time we put the ball in the air or we running the ball and stuff like that. So just try to be prepared when my number's called. You never know when it's coming your way. So I just try to be ready and prepared.
And it seems the last couple of weeks, you guys have been rotating more guys in at receiver. Obviously you're playing CJ's hurt right now, but CJ when he's healthy, Malachi obviously, JoJo, Josh Moore, etc. What's it like? What's the relationship like between you guys in the receiver room, and how do you think it helps when guys are all able to kind of rotate in?
I think it helps us because we are all so close. I mean, we eat lunch together, we do extra work together, we work out, we in the same lift groups and stuff like that. So I think the relationship is very close and tight. We all care for each other. We all could coach each other without anyone getting mad or anything. So I feel like the rotation, we just all be ready to cheer each other on and be ready whenever our numbers call. But that relationship in that room is very, very close.
Jordan, will go to you and then Matt.
Yeah, hey, Keelan, two questions. First off, fourth quarter, there was a play where you guys were called for holding. There was a flag on the defender against you that ended up getting picked up. Just your reaction on that play, and did you think that there should have been a flag against the guy against you?
Yeah, yeah, I thought that, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. We just got to move on, play the next play.
And then just overall with the offense, we've seen a lot of good throughout the season. You guys have been able to extend drives and whatnot, but the last few weeks, some penalties, self-inflicted wounds, whatnot. How do you guys clean that up, especially with a lot riding on these final 4 weeks?
We just been in practice trying to clean up the little details, be hard on little details, the penalties, saying drops and stuff like that. We just been nicking at all the little things, trying to make sure we get it right, staying on each other, holding each other accountable to prevent those type of situations from happening in the game.
All right, next up, we'll go to Matt.
Yeah, hey, Keelan. So, you sort of made your name as a really great speed guy, down the field threat. And, just as you look at these pro football focused numbers for whatever it's worth, it just seems like Miami sort of has had to check down a lot and other teams have taken it away. Do you see that? Like, are there just not opportunities down the field? Or maybe can there be some more opportunities down the road somehow, do you think?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say that. We always just call our play depends on what the defense is giving us and what defense are they playing or what technique they playing and stuff like that. So that all takes a big part into who we throw the ball to or what we're going to call and stuff like that.
Okay, next we'll go back to Adam.
Hey again. So obviously, things are looking forward to the end of the season and potentially postseason stuff. Things are a little bit tighter. With you guys having two losses, like you're not eliminated or anything, but it's obviously a little bit tougher road now. How is everyone staying focused? Like, what's the attitude of the team right now? How's everyone kind of trying to lock in or whatever for this last month of games?
We getting ready for Syracuse. Got a great Syracuse team coming in this weekend. So the guys just been bringing that juice on tough. We had a tough Tuesday practice day full of pads and stuff. So the guys just bringing that energy and juice, to be ready for this weekend.
Are there any guys who have maybe stepped up, and maybe in recent weeks, not necessarily like in the last couple of days, but guys who've stepped up as leaders in the last couple of weeks?
Everyone know the same. The guys, CC, Coop, all those guys been, doing the same thing they've been doing since they've been here. Leading this program to where we're trying to get it to go.
Matt, did you have another one?
I don't, but now I do. Can you just talk about just sort of along those lines, like where the team goes from here, right? You lost two of the last three, but you're not eliminated from anything. How do you get guys to sort of stay motivated, realize that, hey, the season still has stuff that might be left to play for?
We just can't let any, any outsider rap boys and stuff get into our ears and stuff like that. So, we just keep the main thing, stay focused in the building, and, control what we control, handle our business.
I wanted to ask you, the motivation aspect of this now. You guys certainly aren't eliminated by any means, but it's going to be a tough road. What are you guys sort of telling each other? How do you keep each other motivated? How are you staying sort of on task? With two losses in the last three games now.
Well, the losses motivate us just in general. Taking a loss isn't easy for any of us. We're all competitors. We all work hard and we all come in every single week trying to attack the week so we can get a win at the end of the week. So when we don't get a win, that's not what we're looking for. What we're looking to do going into the game when we don't get a win, it's hard on everybody, and we come back in and we just, tighten up our mindset again, just attack the work week.
All right, next up we'll go to Adam and then Jordan.
Hey Mo, how's it going?
Good, Adam. How you doing?
Doing well. So just looking ahead to Syracuse this week. Just what stands out about their offense? They've struggled in recent weeks. They've had some quarterback issues with injuries and stuff. So just, when you watch them on film, what stands out?
They got a lot of great athletes. They got some good receivers, some good running backs. They got guys that could gadget guys that could do a lot of different things. They can put in a lot of different situations and positions. So, just being prepared for the guys like that, different types of schemes, different types of fronts. Like you said, they rotated a lot of different guys at the QB position. So just preparing for everything, and just watching everyone and just studying everything they've done over this season.
All right, Jordan, we'll go to you.
Hey Mo, you guys have had a lot of younger guys having to step up in the front seven, especially when Akeem was out a couple weeks ago and Ahmad was out last week. Justin Scott, Dante Simpson, Marquise Lightfoot, et cetera, et cetera. Just how do you feel those younger guys who are now getting some pretty expansive playing time? How do you feel like they've done in terms of filling in at some needed spots?
I feel like the younger guys have done well. They come out and they prove themselves. They work hard in practice. Talk to a lot of those younger guys. Just to focus on the details, because I know what it's like to be in that position at a younger age. You feel a little pressure, but I just tell them, like, there's no need to feel any type of pressure. When you're prepared, when you work every single day, you've been studying this in spring, fall camp, and then throughout the season, and just look to your older guys to lean on when you have questions, and lean on, the players around you as well, because yeah, you're a younger guy, but you're surrounded by vets who know what they're doing and it can help you at the same time.
All right, Matt, we'll go back to you.
Yeah, one more for you, Mo. So we haven't talked to you in a while. Can you just sort of evaluate your own play, how you feel you're playing up to your own standard?
Uh, I don't feel like I'm playing up to my own standard. I feel like I see flashes of myself from time to time, but I just feel like I haven't been playing consistently like myself, and I've been working on that and working on things that I need to get better on. We all need to continue to grow and get better at things, and I study myself, and I'm very hard on myself when it comes to football. Like, this is my life. I love this game, love everything about this game, and I've been through a lot, playing this game. So I'm very hard on myself. I know what I want for myself, and just continue to just work on the things that I need to get better at every single day, attacking that.
Sir, hey Keionte. I'm doing great, and you're doing great. I mean, you came in and you're just dominating. Coming off last year where some people were like, "What happened?" Like, what's clicked? Is it Coach Heatherman's defense? Is it the coaching? Did you do something different personally this year? Like, what has really come together for you to have such a massive season?
I just feel like, where my mindset was last year compared to where it is now and where I've built it up, just kind of did some self scouting, been real honest with myself, heard a lot of the comments that were being made and all those things, and, just used everything and put everything and all that energy that was going against me, towards what I could do better and what I could control, in certain situations, and, just focused. And then, now it's just, I use everything I, went through and everything like I said, I've listened to and was, everything that was being thrown at me, I've just used it now on the field. And I feel like it's powering me.
All right, next up we'll go to Jordan.
Yeah, hey Keionte, how have the last couple days been inside the team, especially after again second loss in 3 weeks, just trying to turn the page and try to do what you guys can over this final month of the season?
Yeah, very motivating. I feel like, coaches, strength staff, everybody around the building, our leaders are doing a good job of, just keeping everybody motivated. At the end of the day, we got to control what we can control. And at this point of the season, focus on each week and take each week very seriously, and do what we can do and what we know we can.
All right, next up we'll go to Adam.
Hey, Keionte. Kind of like what Matt was asking about where you've improved. How much of that do you think is maybe playing that nickelback role? It seems like you're excelling in that role as opposed to maybe playing like outside cornerback.
I mean, at the end of the day, I pride myself on being a defensive back. Unfortunate things, occurred last year, and at the end of the day, I pride myself on being versatile. So it's not necessarily something I feel like is an inside and outside thing. I'm very grateful for this opportunity, that I'm in right now, and then the trust the defensive coordinator has in me, the trust my teammates have in me, and just having guys around me everywhere, that are doing their job, and me being able to execute my job, and just me just being able to play football. At the end of the day, I'm grateful.
And then, looking back at the SMU game, you guys did an excellent job of containing the run, even after they ran a bit in overtime. You still only held them to like 25 yards or so. But then they were still able to throw the ball a good bit. So just when you watch that film, what stands out about things where you guys can improve as a defense, especially against passing teams?
I know I probably sound like a record board, but it comes down to execution at the end of the day. Getting off the field, and then 50-50 balls obviously, and then guys just stepping up, as a whole, as a back end, trusting guys, to be where they're supposed to be, and different things like that. But also, and ultimately comes down to being in that moment, and getting and being able to execute your job.
And then I guess I'll keep it rolling. Coach Cristobal said yesterday that OJ Frederique is probably out for at least a few weeks. So there's been a few different guys kind of stepping up, filling that spot, whether it's Ethan or Damari or Jabari Antoine, like a bunch of guys. How have you seen them in practice? Like, how do you guys feel like about them filling in that role?
Yeah, as soon as I got here, that room is very deep in depth. Like you guys hear, Heatherman talk about them all the time. Of just, we're very confident in a lot of those guys. So it doesn't matter who, rolls out there, and to start the drive or to end the drive. All those guys can come in and be game changers for us, and they'll continue. You see them, stepping up in practice and getting extra work in, and knowing that some plates are going to get larger, and different things like that with OJ being out. But you see guys just stepping up, and that's something you love to see.